Now we'll look briefly at leaves, the structure of leaves and how they are adapted for photosynthesis, because they are basically photosynthesis factories. A leaf is perfectly adapted to carry out this process. You need to know the different layers of the leaf, the different cells involved. Now on the top we've got the waxy cuticle. It's a waterproof barrier that covers the top of the leaf. And then underneath that you've got the upper epidermis, which is transparent. Those are cells, as you can see, they do not have chloroplasts in. The light goes through there and it hits the main layer, the palisade mesophyll layer. The mesophyll just means the middle layer of the leaf. So the palisade cells there, they are tightly packed. Look at them, tightly packed so that no light squeezes and misses them. We want light to hit all the chloroplasts in those cells and photosynthesis to happen locked there. The spongy layer, spongy mesophyll, you can see there's some chloroplasts, there's some photosynthesis, but those cells are irregularly shaped and there's lots of gaps in between them. Loads of gaps there, loads of what we call air spaces, and those are very important to allow the gases in and around to get to all those cells, because remember you need carbon dioxide and you need to get rid of O2 if you're a leaf, so you need places for gases to diffuse. At the bottom you've got a layer of cells called the lower epidermis, and within that lower epidermis there's a few interesting special cells there called the guard cells, and they are actually guarding a little entrance or exit to their leaf which is called a stoma, and lots of them are called stomata, the plural, and there are hundreds of stomata underneath a leaf, these tiny little pores, these little holes which allow gases in and gases out. It's a bit like a little mouth, like we've got a mouth for breathing, gases in and out go into our lungs. Here you've got lots of these little stomata and they let the gases in and out of the leaf. You've also got a vascular bundle which has got two types of cells in there, xylem and phloem, and that's sort of the transport network for the leaf and the plant. We'll talk more about that in the plant transport video, but that is what's going to carry the water which is needed along with the carbon dioxide which comes in via the stomata for photosynthesis, and also take away the products of photosynthesis, take away the glucose once it's been made to be used for whatever it needs to be used for. Now, I always like to give my class at this point a Jaffa cake because I think it's a nice model to show the different layers of the leaf. You've got that nice shiny chocolate layer on the top, that's like the waxy cuticle. Underneath that though, you've got the big main layer, the orange layer, the layer that packs all the punch. That's your same as your palisade layer, that's where all the action happens. Then you've got a spongy layer, just like in the leaf, where lots of air holes, lots of circulation for diffusion of gases. If you turn the Jaffa cake over, you can actually see all these little tiny little holes in the bottom, which are a bit like stomata. So it's not a great model, it's a bit crude, but if it helps you to remember how the structure of the leaf, the different layers of the cells, then that's only a good thing. So as I've been saying, leaves are perfectly adapted to carry out photosynthesis. You've got the palisade layer, which is packed with chloroplasts. The upper epidermis is transparent, which lets light through. The leaf has a big, broad shape, massive surface area to catch more light. Very, very thin, which means a short diffusion distance for gases, so that speeds that up. Lots of air spaces, which helps with diffusion. The leaf has all these stomata for gas exchange, and the guard cells can actually control whether those stomata are open or closed. And the waxy cuticle layer stops too much water being lost by evaporation. All these things, all these 8 points, mean that the leaf is perfectly adapted to carry out photosynthesis.